Let me tell you something I never thought I'd have to say out loud. A woman broke into my house, beat my 13-year-old son until his face was smeared with blood, and then, yeah, you heard me right, I opened the gate and let a bear decide what happened next. You want to know how we got there? Buckle up. This isn't your usual neighbor drama. This is Willow Creek Estates, and behind those perfect lawns and white fences, things get ugly. First, from the curb, Willow Creek looked like one of those places where peace drifts in on the breeze. Identical mailboxes, neighborhood newsletters so pious you'd think Moses himself wrote them. Everyone waving, everyone smiling. But those smiles? They're armor. Here, a neighbor can wreck your week with one phone call, and at the center of it all stood Karen Miller, HOA president, judge, jury, executioner, you know the type. Clipboard welded to her palm. She could recite HOA bylaws faster than she could recall her grandkids' names. People used to joke about it, but that was before things got real. When Ethan and I moved in, I thought the bad part of my life was behind me. My wife was gone, and all I wanted was quiet. I picked the last house at the end of the cul-de-sac, thinking I could disappear. Just me, my boy, and Buddy, a 900-pound brown bear. Yeah, you heard right. I know how it sounds, but Buddy's not some wild animal. He's licensed, registered, and he's been through more therapy than most folks I know. He once calmed a Marine's night terrors just by being there. But to Karen, he was just chaos in fur, something she couldn't control, and Karen hated what she couldn't control. First week, there was a friendly HOA flyer about unauthorized wildlife, real subtle. Then citations. Then she started pacing past the house slower each day, like a shark circling lunch. I knew that look. Her smile was thin as paper, and there was something behind her eyes, hungry and cold. She didn't want to beat me with paperwork. She wanted to break me in person. It started with the trash. One morning, bright orange violation taped to my bin C.H.A. Guideline 4.32, container visible from street. Ethan took the trash out for 10 minutes, but rules are rules, right? Next, a citation for non-uniform plant growth. Then, unapproved noise because Buddy sneezed. At this point, you get it, Karen wasn't keeping order. She was laying a trap, and Buddy was the bait. She'd film him through the fence, crouched down with her phone, saying she had the right to document neighborhood risks. Buddy never even left his enclosure, he just slept and snored, but logic never mattered to Karen. Power did. She stopped Ethan at the mailbox one morning, leaned in, and whispered, "You'll learn the hard way." That's when I knew she wasn't just going to make my life difficult, she was coming for us. Warnings slipped under the door at night. Noise complaints, citations shoved through the gate. This wasn't HOA enforcement. It was stalking. And in my gut, I knew this wouldn't end with paperwork. Then came that Thursday. The kind of hot where the sidewalk feels like a skillet and the air sticks to your ribs. I was out back, washing the car, mind on autopilot, shirt off, music up. Ethan was down in the basement. Buddy was snoozing. That's when I saw the back door open. Thought maybe Ethan left it, but not. Here was movement. Someone creeping in. Karen, moving like she owned the place, sunglasses, khakis, clipboard. She didn't even flinch when I yelled at her to leave. She just marched to the basement, disappeared down the stairs. Something snapped. I tore across the yard, hard in my throat. I hit the basement steps just in time to hear a scream, a crash, a thud. Ethan's voice, high and scared, "Stop, please." I turned the corner. Time just froze. Karen was standing over Ethan, who was curled up, blood on his face, and she had her clipboard raised, red at the edge. She was yelling something about monsters, but in that moment, she had no idea what kind she'd just unleashed. You ever wonder what you do in a moment like that? I didn't. I just moved, slammed the emergency release on the wall. Across the room, Buddy's gate clicked open, and I told her, "You want a monster, Karen? Here you go." Buddy woke up big, real big, and his growl rolled through the room like thunder. Karen's eyes got huge. She tried to back away, slipped, fell hard, dropping her clipboard. "Call him off," she screamed, but I just cradled Ethan, blood and all, told her she'd crossed every line there was. Buddy didn't charge. He just walked forward, slow and steady, like the end of a sentence. Karen shrieked, scrambling backward, hands shaking. I told Ethan to call 911. And he did, brave kid, shaking, but he did it. Karen tried to hide behind some moral outrage, something about protecting the neighborhood, about how it was dangerous. But the only danger in that room was the woman who'd just beaten a child. Buddy loomed over her, calm as judgment. She whimpered, begged. I let her crawl out on her own, drenched in her own blood, her blouse filthy, her shoe lost. If you come near my family again, I said, I won't open the gate. I'll open the door. Sirens wailed. Police stormed in, weapons ready. I told them everything, handed over security footage, showed them where Karen planted evidence here. She even tried to frame me by tossing a bloody meat bag toward Buddy's pen. The whole mess caught on camera, her sneaking in, hitting Ethan, trying to set me up. The officers saw through it. She tried to spin her story, but for once, nobody believed her. For once, the truth was louder than the lies. 3 weeks later, we ended up in court. Karen walked in, blazer-pressed, lawyer in tow, playing the victim. Her lawyer thundered about exotic predators and community safety. My attorney just pressed play footage, showed everything. Karen breaking in, attacking Ethan, planting evidence. The judge didn't waste time. Case dismissed. You're done as HOA president. Barred from any such position for 10 years. No gavel slam. No dramatic speech, just the sound of power finally being stripped from the person who least deserved it. Karen vanished, no goodbye, no apology, just a moving truck at 2 a.m. The silence she left behind was heavy, but slowly, things started to change. Porch lights glowed again. Halloween decorations sprouted everywhere. Kids played on the sidewalks. Laughter came back. The first real smile I saw on Ethan's face was with some boys from down the block, and that meant more than any legal victory. Neighbors started saying hi. Mr. Alvarez painted his shutters Caribbean Blueno, HOA-approved beige. Someone slipped a cartoon of Buddy into our mailbox with a thank you note. And the new HOA board? 3 volunteers, one of them baked banana bread, and nobody owns a clipboard. People talk about freedom, but you don't realize how heavy fear is until it's gone. Every now and then, someone would mention Karen in a whisper. Her house sat unsold, curtains drawn, for sale, signs slumping out front like it had lost hope. And then, I got a Laterno name, just H. Someone she'd done this to years before. Turns out I wasn't the first. Maybe I'll be the last. I built a little sanctuary for Buddy in the back. Kids come by to watch him now and then. Donations go to wildlife rescue. Sometimes I catch Ethan sitting out there, strumming his guitar, smiling, scars fading. One day, a reporter asked what changed. I said, people thought silence meant weakness. Sometimes, it just means you're waiting for the right time to unleash hell. So, yeah, maybe peace isn't something you find. Maybe it's something you fight for. Sometimes you have to raise your voice, sometimes your fists, and sometimes you open the gate and let people see the monster they made you out to be. The quiet ones aren't weak. The strongest people are often the ones nobody expects, the ones who stand up when nobody else will. Now, I want to hear from you. Would you have opened the gate, too, or held back? Drop a yes or no in the comments. Let's talk about what's right, what's wrong, and what it takes to bring real peace to a place. Because sometimes the loudest stories come from the quietest people, and sometimes peace is claws.